good time recording, can't you? And I gotta tell you very, very truthfully, although we all love the business, we like what we do, and there's a general camaraderie in basically the whole of the industry, sometimes you do get together with a cast where everybody just gets along. And not only do they get along at the time of the recording, but years down the road, when we have times like this, where it gets even stronger, and the reflections are wonderful, and we enjoy working as a team, and we become even better friends. And that's really, really what's happened. That's really nice. I made that up. Yeah, it worked, didn't it? No. I think we better start. Susan will find us at some point. I believe in her too. She believes in herself, which is most important. You want to get in?
Well, at least it's not going to mark me, right?
That's right. Oh, wait. No, we weren't late, though. It's 2:31 right now.
Yeah.
In real life,
That's right.
I hate being late. More than anything on this planet, I hate it.
This
Hey, guys.
It
happens. It's a bubble tea stroke.
Yeah.
So, first off, I just want to say thank you for everybody who came out, because this is crazy. I mean, I was 3 years old recording this voice. Good times. But no, we really do thank you guys, and downstairs and stuff, we've been shocked and overwhelmed with the support, and it's really cool to see everybody dressed up. Thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to get everybody back in the room again and kind of joking around.
Yeah.
It's super fun. It means so much to us, you have no idea. I like being tall, dark, and handsome.
Skinny and blonde. That's true. Well, who's looking at the other one?
So I'll tell you what, we really should press on without Susan. She'll, I'm sure, come in any moment. Generally what we have done in the past is open up the floor to questions. We can set any kind of schedule that we want in terms of addressing issues, but we found that sometimes what we have planned and what you want to hear are very, very different things. So let's hear your agenda. We've got a hand up here, the lady that's going to come and replace me shortly.
What was your favorite episode of film, you guys?
See, it's so hard to answer this because it was so long ago. I really liked when it started getting kind of serious. I think it was the end of the S one, when it was very, there was a lot of emotion, and I think because I've been just so goofy for so long, just, doing all that stuff, and all of a sudden, sort of digging deep, and I remember, like, we wouldn't get the, oh wait for it.
Susan!
She's a fan, let's just say. No, so I liked when I was able to sort of dig deep and get to be like some little emotional thing. That was fun. For me, that was kind of a fun part. But I always loved being the goofball, that's for sure.
Yes. You. Yes, want to get yourself. That's everybody.
Name is one funny memory you had from recording the movie.
Okay, so I don't know if everybody's aware that it was dubbing and we had to watch this big projected screen with all the handwritten words and then the TV, and you had to kind of correlate both things. So that was interesting because a lot of the times we do a first pass not even knowing the script. So anytime there would be like, a sword slash, all the way over to a tickle. All I would say in parentheses is reaction. Right? So, okay. So I'm having some talk or a fight or whatever, and then it just says reaction. I go, ha ha! It was nothing more than like a yes, yes. So it was always it made me laugh because we are like, no, we're gonna have to pick that up. That's not a tickle. You just got stabbed in the face. All right. So we'll go for the stab in the face sound. Much better. All right. So for me, that was one of the cool things about it. There was always something new every episode. There was one or two of those things that would just come up and make you laugh like crazy.
Yeah, and it would say yes, like scream, and you have no idea if you're excited, and you go through this big scream. The whole thing was all screaming all the time. You'd be so excited, and you'd be like, yeah! And then by the end of it, no, you're really sad, you're really upset. You'd just be so defeated that you have to scream again.
Any more studio
right here.
house?
Right here.
Well, let me just fill in. I'll take 1 minute and tell you as a sort of a backstory to what they do. What Toby was talking about. When you do, I don't know how many of you know the system, the dubbing system. It's probably interesting piece that many of you are unaware of. It was done on what is called a rhythmoband, where the words are handwritten and written by people who are really adept at matching lips. Because of course we're working to original Japanese tracks, which are eliminated, but the lips have to show basically a coordinated match. And so that's what we work on. And because the budgets were low, but you couldn't tell that. Right, we were all selling apples on the street corner at the same time. But very, very low budget, and so the stream of time was really, really restricted, and that's why you would only sometimes you would just be reading stuff on the fly, and sometimes they accepted reads that were not quite 100%. Well, when I say they, I mean waking me. Sometimes I would have to because there was just a time by, and we would just have to do stuff because it was on the fly. We never saw scripts before. Not only because they were changing sometimes on the spot, but simply because they weren't ready. We would be sitting and waiting for, at that time, the video or the film track or something to arrive by FedEx. So, I'm not sure, one of you had your hand up for a while.
Linda Valentine. If I met her in reality, well, she was a little bit of a miserable thing to me. She was so, just stop it, you're just nagging me so much. But in reality, I love cats. I do love cats, I gotta admit. Don't tell my dog. I don't know, cats kind of do talk to you in reality. They're the most sarcastic animals on the planet. They're just like, yeah, do I want to be fed? Really? That's a cat, so they do talk to me.
If you had the opportunity to do any other sales job in the show, who would you be and why?
Sailor Darian?
Any other Sailor Scout? Actually, well, I always say, preface by saying this, is that we all wanted to be Sailor Moon. So, I wanted to be Sailor Moon, I'll be frank. And then I realized that I was much more suited. And I was much more suited to Sailor Jupiter. And when they gave us the breakdowns when we were auditioning for the parts, because I think all of us read for every single part, didn't you? You didn't?
I did not.
I only auditioned for Sailor Mars. And that was my very first cartoon ever. Just to finish. Oh, sorry. There's a voice. Yes?
Sure.
Okay, this is something I've been wondering for a while.
What?
Come on.
Sailor Moon or Bloom from Winx Club. Basically, Winx Club is a show about fairies. It was done by 4 kids for the first 3 seasons, and then all the voice actors were replaced on when Nickelodeon got the rights to it with very bland voice actors.
I don't know that one at all. I can't even help. No, I'm sorry. Would I be? The moon. If I was going to pick another one, though, I'd be Sailor Jupiter. You were too much of a girly girl. You had little high heels.
They also had fire.
All right, are we moving on or? Okay, right row.
So should we do our gavel tries? Would that be good? Well, I had 2, but I'm going to do, well, actually, I had more than 2. I'm going to do my favorite one. Okay, Jupiter, thunderclap, zap! Mars, fire, ignite! Moon, cosmic power!
Hey, meatball head. What are you doing here? I thought for sure you'd be over there with your friends, especially since you're acting like 2 little fools.
And my favorite line was, okay, that was a good read. Let's run the scene again just a little bit happier.
And faster. Oh no, that's totally fine.
Ooh. Well, can we tell them about the whole nudity?
I seriously thought it was pants off day. I mean,
They told them it was a costume party. And, let's get some people from way in the back. Okay, gentleman standing right at the very back.
Oh, hey, what's up? All right, so if you had a chance, I know there was a live action Sailor Moon in Japan release. If you had a
Oh,
chance
yeah,
to do
the
the
band.
dubbing, would you do the voices for those?
We're actors. We do anything. Voice if you want me to, baby.
Yeah, there was a live action done by Saban.
Yeah.
You can actually Google
Oh, not that one. No, the good one.
that.
That's the one.
It's so bad. Have you ever seen this?
Yes. No.
Oh, it's a treat. Sorry. Let me get somebody new. Sir, you're right on the aisle here. They're still playing.
You know what? I don't know that we knew that that was our last day. So I think we just always went in going, oh my God, we're screaming for a really long time.
When you wait for the call to say, okay, so we're going to need you again tomorrow at whatever, and then the phone doesn't ring.
for years.
All right, yes.
Okay, this is for both Susan and Linda. I know both of you were in Thomaston as growers, and I just wanted to know if the filming process for James and Percy were different than Sailor Moon and Sailor Jupiter.
Yes.
Okay, next question.
Well, that's
we didn't have a very long, accommodating schedule for Sailor Moon, but Magic Railroad we did, and we went in and they spent a lot of time with us. Retake after retake, and we needed it, let's try it this way, let's try it that way. So when you have that luxury of time, you can actually do a lot more. And also, don't forget, these were tank engines. So you didn't have to do a lot of, body matching, right? It's a tank, it's just sitting there.
I didn't think so. Lips moved, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they kind of.
But it was also original animation, that one. So we went in there and you can just do your lines. You just take your time and do your lines, and then they match everything up afterwards.
That's true.
So
Yes,
it's like a
yes.
luxury.
Although, I seem to remember seeing some footage when I was recording.
I do too, now that they said that.
Was that narrative stuff that you talked over existing footage?
I think so, because I saw Alec Baldwin, and I said, why isn't he in this studio? Everybody was going, we're going to work with Alec Baldwin, and I said, man, I don't know. He's up on the street, but I don't hear him in the hallway.
I tell people I did.
All right, yes.
Their own series. Sailor Mars died. I don't really actually know that they're true. I think she really died. So I would like to not die. She doesn't? All right, so then carry on.
She's just in a coma.
I would like Ray to get together with Chad, because that never happened.
Oh man, that's a toughie. I guess a full-on marriage, eh?
I think I'd want Darian to be a really nice guy. Super nice, and he can hand out $5 to everybody. Street level philanthropy, like I said the other day.
Buy beers for people.
Yes, I'm a beer shopper.
Yeah. Against the wall. Yes.
Will Darian propose to Serena?
Oh boy.
Now, Serena, I know this has been a long time coming, and I always seem to have roses, so you're probably going to know this. But would you take my hand in marriage?
Are you kidding? You're a little late, aren't you? I got another guy, Chad. In other words, yes.
What we had here? Okay, down there, right? Yes.
It's not really a question, but I grew up with Sailor Moon. It started when I was in grade 1, grade 2. I spent a week having chicken pox watching it 3 times a day. My mother hated it. And over the years, I still think back how Sailor Moon taught me that even though if you're ditzy, if you're a crybaby, if you're a temperamental pyro, but they still did everything. They saved the world each day. And no matter who you are, you can still do everything and do the best for the world. And I think it inspired me as a child and a young woman, and now a woman. Myself saying that sometimes. But I just want to say thank you all, because you brought Sailor Moon to Canada.
So, it's a question for all of you, both from a directorial and an actor point of view. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Stars series of Sailor
if I may just briefly, I think probably, I'm not going to speak for them, but in the general sense, I think any actor who likes to work and enjoys the medium and just enjoys challenges would probably say yes to anything first and then worry about how difficult it's going to be later. The challenge is always wonderful, and especially with this particular project, it's been a different take on it. I think it'd be very exciting.
Well, I think that's what lawyers are for. We just do it. I mean, they just sort it out, right?
Do you guys have the outer sense you're representing the English? The outer sense Uranus, Neptune,
Yeah.
We like them, did you say?
I didn't get it.
how they were representing the English stuff, their characterization, working with them, their voice actors?
So are you saying, do you like working with voice actors?
Characterization for their whole role.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like the way that, I personally didn't like the way that the North American version took away from Uranus and Neptune. You'd see these two faces come together, all the hearts come up, and you're like, they're cousins? What kind of cousins are those? And every single time, and I'm always like, going, blue eyes, why would they do that? Why would they do that? And then, of course, somebody goes, Linda. Duh. Oh, and I now, maybe we weren't ready for it back then. I don't know, but we certainly are ready for it now. So it would be a nice...
Who has I have a question? Yes, sure. Okay.
Luna.
Mars.
I totally win.
Fire beats flowers.
We've had, I think you've already asked, have you not? Okay, then go on.
I think from Sailor Moon, people series and movies and that, and even when we're driving up here, you're listening and you're like, on the iPod, and we still don't. So we're just wondering, which are your favorite songs from the whole series?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the theme song's awesome. But there was this, so I'm actually a real singer.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is, I actually sound a lot like that singer, but the song was already done. And nobody approached me to ask me, are you a singer? But I totally could have done that, so, but it is.
Do it now, do it
No.
now.
I am a perfectionist, and unless I can do like the kick-ass version of knowing the lyrics and doing all that, I will do it maybe next time. Now I have a mission to learn the song.
Best version or CD version?
Oh. CD version would be longer, yes? Like it would be the full song and broadcast probably had a, no, full version. CD version.
So, just want to say for purpose this that you guys were my childhood. And now my early adulthood. Now I'm watching it with my 12-year-old sister. And I'm getting her upset. So, I don't know, I read last year, since it's the 20th anniversary of Sailor Moon and whatnot, that in Japan they're planning to redo, kind of like what they did with Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Kai, they're planning to redo Sailor Moon and redraw
being in front of a microphone. I loved having the headphones on. And every now and then they would bring in a guest speaker to us, somebody who was in the business. And they brought in this one voice actor. And immediately I'm like, oh, I know that voice. I know that voice. I know everything about that voice. Oh my God, I love that voice. And I just sat there and, you know, she talked about everything that was going on and everything in the voice world and told us all that. And I was just like, and that voice was Susan Roman. Now I'm not so impressed by her. She's sick of hearing that story.
That's a good segue. Well, you know, that really, Linda has told that story a few times, and it really gets to me every single time, because you never realize, and you can, you know, keep telling it for, you know, the rest of eternity, and I'll on the way out. So, what it shows to me is that you never realize what kind of an impact you can have on another person. So you just don't realize. So you may as well, every single time you get the chance to be with somebody new, to meet someone new. Wait a second. Here we go. You think I've never used a microphone before? That you really have to put your best foot forward and give it everything that you have. Because you're going to find out 10 years later, 15 years later, 5 minutes later, boy, you know when you said that, it really, really affected me in a positive way. And, you know, some of you have said, and we've heard it today, we've heard it when we're at our table, that we had a really positive, profound effect on some childhood memories and on childhoods in general. And I don't think we realized at the time that that would happen, because none of us ever thought that it would be as popular as it was. In fact, we thought it wouldn't fly because it was just so different. I mean, we thought it was great, but we just wondered, I wonder if this is going to fly. And then when we found out it was going to fly, we were really, really delighted, but we seriously didn't know at the time. So this is just like a little, you know, Sailor Moon reminder. Put your best foot forward every single time. You know what's going to happen.
Quick question.
Okay, yeah.
Way at the back. Gentleman, yeah. Hat.
Yeah. You know, Sailor Moon is popular all over the world, but when I have done stuff in the States, I find that Canada had more an affinity for Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon was more of a cult thing down in the States, but it was a household name in Canada. Why do you think the Canadian audience took hold of the series where the American audience not so much?
I mean, it's possible it's because some people knew it was recorded here. But we're finding, I'll be honest with you, we're finding that acceptance in the States is, I mean, nothing beats this, because it's, you know, it's a hometown product. But we've, you know, we've been invited to a lot of cons in the States just over the last little while for the coming year, and they are all just nuts to have the gang down. So I don't know if that's a recent phenomenon and sparked by perhaps its 20th anniversary, or if it's, I don't want to say you're wrong, but you're wrong.
Do you know what?
No, truthfully, you know what? I have not seen that or experienced that.
Do you know what? It could be also it could be Canadian. It could be broadcasting, because there's Canadian content involved, and so
Good point.
that may be
Yeah.
why we had a lot more play. Because I think it was on, 3 and 4 times a day here, whereas in the States, because it's not Canadian content, they just Yes. Please continue your comment. Thank you.
Marginal. It's been bubbling for what, 2-3 years now, the fact that they're going to do it. I mean, there is an indication that it's going to be done in the States with an all-new cast. That's okay. Listen, what I'm thinking of, and ladies, forgive me for doing this, but I'm going to project it. A couple of people asked me, what can I do? And I said, tell you what. why don't you all write, email, contact the producers and say, we love the existing cast and crew of Sailor Moon the way it is. If you move ahead on a season 6, please, please, please use the original cast. That's what we love. Those are the people we love. Those are the performances we want. Realize that statistics say that every person who responds or replies to something, just like everyone who complains or praises, every voice is worth 10, they say is 10,000 people. Because only 1 out of 10,000 really says what they want to say. If everybody in this room, and I'm not kidding you, you want to hear this gang, you want to see all of us again doing season 6, we'd love to. Send, is it Toby that owns the rights? Toby? All you gotta do, you know what, just Google the ownership of Sailor Moon. They'll either redirect you or it'll tell you who does own it, the rights to 6 and everything else. Because I think that's part of the shifting issue, is that the rights are shifting. But if every one of you sent an email to the effect that please continue it the way it is or we won't watch it, that would carry, although it doesn't seem like it would, carry immense amount.
The one with the red on. Actually, my first question for Toby. What was your favorite nickname for Sailor Moon?
Meatball head. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Yeah, for sure. And off the blade. Yeah. For sure, meatball head. She's 4.5. She sounds exactly like you. So what does that say? Who knows?
When I was doing Sailor Moon, and every morning you'd be trying to warm your voice up, and you'd be just like, I can't even talk today. I was screaming so much the day before. I had a little tiny 1-year-old running around, and I'd be walking around going, trying to get her going, and she'd walk by and go, I'd say, are you making fun of me?
That's funny. I feel like I have to say something now because you just said that. Because I have 2 little kids too, and I do a lot of voiceover dancing as well. And I do clean and clear, so it's always been
It's better than it sounds.
Yeah. No, but I've been doing it for like 15 years, so clean and clear and under control. So that's been going on forever, so that's all. Yeah, but anyway, so I warm up my voice to that all the time, and then all of a sudden, and I have a 2-year-old now, and I was in the car the other day, and Wyatt looked at me and he went, clean and clear and under control. And he could hardly talk, and I went, please don't let that be your first.
White glove.
I know you guys already did like your battle calls, but is it like, or battle cries I should say, but is it possible to be like your transformation cries?
So it's just Mars power, right?
There's Mars power, Mars power.
a new hand to do before I get to double? Yes. Okay.
How did you feel about like Sailor Moon referencing itself in the show? For example, I remember Molly once was like singing along with the radio with the theme song on. How did you feel about the show referencing itself?
Love that.
That's great.
Love that stuff.
Yeah. It's sort of the incestuous, I would call it incestuous. Because it is. It's, I mean, it's like, you know, you're kind of cannibalizing your own show. I love it. But you know what's really fun is that most people wouldn't get it. And usually those kind of little subtle things are sent out to the 1% of people that go, hey, wait a second, play that again. Sure. Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay, so one of the things that always really I loved about the show was whenever Tuxedo Mask showed up and saved everybody, he always had those funny little proverbs.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. We read them so fast, but do you have one that you know?
I know it vaguely because I remember I was actually watching the dub and the sub of the Ice Princess movie one day.
Right.
And which is my favorite character. I remember watching the Japanese sub, and when he came in, he had this like really poetic thing about like winter and the effect it has on human behavior. And then the Darian version was something like, oh, winter causes a lot of long and hard days, but that's okay.
Crazy. Honestly, I couldn't even remember that. But I did like when he arrived. That was, it always gave me a shot of adrenaline. Yes, I get to be this guy now. Hooray! Where are my roses?
Oh, great. Like us about when you realized
Can I
Yeah.
just 2 seconds? Okay, so Sailor Moon, they call us in, and this kind of bridges the gap with the whole voice acting thing too. This is my first cartoon, basically, and so I recorded the first few, like maybe a month or so. It was airing when we were still recording, because I remember like lines would drop out, they'd have to say, come to the studio and put another line in, and really quickly, because I had to go to air the next morning. So I was doing this crazy thing called Sailor Moon. I was also doing the voice of Flash Gordon at the exact same time, and everybody, it was horrible. No one ever saw that thing, and it tanked and whatever, and I didn't know what Sailor Moon was going to be. And I was taken to the TTC somewhere, like a streetcar somewhere, and I saw this little boy need a backpack, and I was like, that looks like Tuxedo Mask. I'm sitting there trying to like kind of crook my head, and I'm like, that is totally my character. So I'm like trying to clamor to get, I never got close to him, but I was like, man, I'm sure. So I called my brother Kel. I said, Kel, I think I just saw my character on a kid's backpack. He goes, that's cool. And I said, well, that's kind of neat, I guess. I thought, well, one time for everything. And then about a week later, boom, it hit. And everybody started calling me. And people said, you know, this thing is crazy, right? And that was my story. Like, it was this little kid's backpack. That, like, I was like, all right, we're here. That's cool.
I was obsessed with kung fu movies when I was younger, and I used to go and watch them dubbed. And anyway, it's a long story that I'll keep brief. I went to Spadina and Dundas to get to the store to get some movies. And I walked into the store, and it was all Sailor Moon. And I freaked out. I just thought, I had no idea. And then, of course, I bought out the store. And I told them, and they didn't even care. I don't even think they knew what I was saying, but I kept saying, I'm Sailor Mars! They thought, she's crazy. We'll take her money. Okay, bye!
Well, I remember, because way back at the beginning, I think we were probably into our second or third or fourth year, we actually had a con called conventions in those days, and in the North Hall. So I don't know how many years ago this was. It could have been 15. 2001. 2001. I think okay, I thought we had one before then. But we knew that it was popular, but the thing that I want to talk about this particular con was we had a lineup, not as many people waiting in line for our autographs as are here today. But the most amazing thing was that this is a true story. We're sitting there in the lineup, and all these people are coming and saying, "Hi, I really like the show, blah, blah, blah." And all of a sudden, up standing in my table in front of me is a person wearing a Sailor Moon costume. And I went, "Wow, look at you." And she said, "Well, I thought I dress up for the occasion. I'm a really big fan." And I thought, "Oh, that's really great." And all of us were like, "Oh my God, she came dressed up. She came dressed." Nobody dressed up. Nobody. I think she was the first person on the planet to come to a con dressed up. And, and as she's walking through, like you can see, everybody's going, "Oh my God, who is that? Why is that woman wearing a costume?" And look what's happened. Isn't it amazing? Where is she here? Because, how great is that? And it's just turned into this fantastic thing. Look at all of you guys in costume, and you haven't just slapped it together like some really cheap Halloween costume. The way some people go, "Oh, it's Halloween, I'll just put any old thing on." Like, you really take a lot of time and care to put the costume together properly. I think it's fabulous.
Seriously, just so you know, I was surprised here. That lady was John.
And deep down inside me, she's still there. Dressed like Sailor Moon. Okay, sure. One of these? Okay. Oh, yes, sure. You pick one. Arm wrestle.
I was just curious, I'm sure we're all huge fans, how sick did you get of huge fans? We're like,
Wow, that was beautiful. Let's see. Wow, did you record that? Anybody get that?
No, I missed it.
Did you get your answer? No, okay. Not really, but
You know what? I would love that because my natural voice is quite a bit deeper than the cartoons. But I think what happens is, Sailor Moon was uber successful. So my voice naturally, if I go and I see a script and I go into the audition, I audition a lot for teenage girls or little kids. Naturally, I want to be successful and I want to book the part. So all of a sudden it starts talking like this and it gets a little higher and then by the end I'm totally talking like this for everything. Well, that's a little bit about it. I think naturally by the end of the day, like yesterday by the end of the day I came home and my husband was sitting there and I went, "Oh, hi Michael." And I just naturally, I think by the end of the day your voice is all warmed up and crazy and I think that's why, because naturally I think my voice goes that way, but I could play grown up. I am a grown up. I did play Cellon, and that was in Bakugan, and she was evil, and that was kind of fun because I never get to do that.
you asked a question before, please. Let's get everybody. Who hasn't asked a question before? Okay. Please. Right through. Yes.
Yes. Oh. I was wondering what you guys do to kind of keep alive with your kids or your nieces, nephews, whatever, if they're all interested in it or whatever. And also, do you know how difficult it was to find Sailor Booster costumes? So difficult. I could not find one anywhere. I had a Sailor Moon costume and I was dressed in
Well, it's funny when it comes to the kids. My kids don't tell anybody that I was Sailor Moon. Yeah, but, and I was always like, why are you friends? Because every now and then, you know, somehow it'll come out. Maybe they'll see a picture or something like that, and they'll say, oh yeah, my mom's Sailor Moon, they'll look at me. And I'm like, it's true.
And that's why they don't tell.
Yeah, but I think the hard part is that I found out from my oldest daughter, Madeline, she said, I don't tell my friends because it doesn't come up in conversation, Mom. You don't just walk around going, oh, by the way, my mother's Sailor Moon. I bet all of you guys would, wouldn't you? So for me, keeping it alive was when I did the Anime North conference there just in the spring. What to expect at all. And when I went there, and all these Sailor Moon fans were just like, whoa! And my kids came. I was like, see? I told you so. So they were impressed. They were more impressed than I.
I always knew. We're kind of the same height.
A little bit of a shock.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were.
What is your favorite trait of your character or your least favorite trait?
I've been thinking about this a lot. I think about it daily. What I love about my character is that she is not afraid. She's strong and feisty and all that kind of stuff. That's acceptable. But she's not afraid to express how she's feeling at the moment. So if she sees somebody who's really cute, or hi, you know, all that kind of stuff. Oh, he's not talking too much. But if she's losing at the arcade, she lets people know, I'm angry, I'm pissed off. I love it. Sometimes you keep all that stuff inside of you. I think it kind of builds and builds and builds. And then the other thing that I love about her, I love about all of them, but particularly Lita, is that she's not afraid to call her friends on bad behavior, right? So if you are really good friends with somebody, if you're really close to them, I think you should be allowed to say at any time, you know what? You know when you said that last night, that really hurt me. And if it's a really good friend, that friend is going to say, oh, wow, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. And a not so good friend is going to say, what are you talking about? And don't be so sensitive. Arr! That's to me that's not a great situation. So I like the fact that she has enough confidence in her friends, and she kind of maybe leads the way a little bit in that, and to say, I'm not happy with what you just did. It hurt me, or it embarrassed me, or whatever, and I think you should know it, and let's talk it through. So that's what I really, really like about her. What I don't like about her is nothing.
I like a lot of things about her, because I think she's awesome. But I think even though she fought a ton with Serena, she's fiercely loyal. She's a hard worker, and I feel like there's something about loyalty that I connect with that, and I think it's super important. And I'm fiercely loyal to my friends, and you know, and I do, and just like I do show my emotions, and I do fight, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I love my buddies, my friends, and my so that's it. Yeah, loyalty.
I like that she's just a goofball. Because I think that that's such an important part of growing up. Teenagers are two things. They're kids and they're adults. They want to become adults, but they're still kids. And inside, they're just kids, and they just want to be that goofball all the time. And I kind of like the fact that she held on to that a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, I really liked the romantic side of Darian and like Tuxedo Mask when he was nice. I think it did bother. What I didn't like is I didn't like him being mean to girls, and I also didn't like the girls feeding into that. As a father to daughters now, I'm like, I don't want my daughters liking jerks. So So no jerks. It's a no jerk policy. No jerks.
Yes, the thing, unit.
We see each other a lot. There are a few other, Emily Claire Barlow, who played Sailor Mars for a while, we're really good friends. And then she came back and she was Venus. But yeah, we all...
And I actually went to high school with her. True story.
And so yeah, no, I think we all...
There's a really nice sort of bond, call it a fraternity sorority amongst a lot of the actors. And I'll be honest, it's the more mature actors, shall we call it? Have their own kind of unit. We all know each other, and we've gone through the trials and tribulations. We refer, all our references are somewhat comparable because we were either in or auditioned for or guested on particular shows. So,
Also, remember too, we didn't ever record with each other, right? I would always do it singly. I don't think I ever did one with anybody else, correct? Maybe?
Sometimes they would pair up Sailor Scouts.
Oh,
So I
okay.
used to work
Really?
with Sailor Venus and Stephanie, and I think you worked with them.
Is that true?
No, I didn't work with...
No, I was always singular. I never got to work with anyone.
Yeah, they would often double like two of the Scouts. I remember doing that sometimes. But then often, yes, if there was a lot of it still happens now anyway. Even in original voice animation, where most of the recording is done actor performer at a time. So very little ensemble work. But if you had sister, twin brothers, or mother, father, or boyfriend, girlfriend, often when there's pages and pages of dialogue that were on which they interact, you would have them in at the same time, and that would be the same thing. And two of the Scouts were the featured actresses in that particular episode. It would sometimes be advantageous simply because of the chemistry that would be maximized by having them both in. Yeah. Yes, I am. Well, I'm a little beastly. I can do a little beastly anytime. And yes, I did voices in the largest role I did in Sailor Moon was the role of Grandpa. And I wouldn't lie about that. But actually, it's interesting because I used to do a lot of bits and pieces. I was called in, and in the dubbing world, you can do lines from 10 different episodes, and it's basically your either total number of lines or the total number of hours. That's how dubbing is paid. That's why you're paid a pittance. So I would be called in by the producers, and they would place 8 episodes for me, or 7, and I would do a line here, and 2 lines there, and 4 lines there, and 6 in this one. And I happened to be there when actually, I was doing that when the previous voice director was released, shall we say. And the producer turned to me and said, "John, would you like to be the new voice director?" Right there in the studio. I said, "Okay." And that's my first voice directing job.
Now, as we all know, we never want the moon to end.
Yes.
But we're going to have to come to an end. I know. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You all have to understand that we have loved every single second of doing Sailor Moon. It has been the most magical experience of all of our lives. It's something that we had no idea the enormity, and it will always be with us. And it's going to be with us because of you guys. So thank you so much.
Vanessa? What do you think?
We are going to continue signing autographs, Jessica. Come on.
Yes.